Back to Hannity. Now the sky is falling over at CNN. This, according to a brand new narrative being pushed by the Chicken Little himself, CNN's fake news director, the chief over there, Jeff Zucker. Now, sadly, even longtime host Wolf Blitzer, of all people, now he's towing the company line and sounding an imaginary alarm about President Trump and his treatment of the press. Now, we're calling out Blitzer tonight, and everyone else wrapped up in CNN's faux hysteria. That's tonight's mini monologue. All right, last night, poor Wolf Blitzer, he raised the possibility that Trump's treatment of the liberal media could be so dangerous. Really? Watch this.
You've met with Sean Spicer, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. You're meeting with the White House communications team. Have you raised the concern that all of us in the news media have about the president calling all of us enemies of the American people? Because that is a very, very harsh statement and potentially very dangerous.
Hey, Wolf, I don't see ISIS poses, severed heads, which I'll get to in a second. Now, of course, Blitzer's freak out is just the latest example of the CNN pundits that want to keep their jobs pretending America's freedom of the press is in danger. No, it's not. Now, naturally, this includes their chief White House correspondent. He's almost as unhinged as Liberal Joe, Jim ACOSTA. Watch this.
What we're witnessing right now is just this erosion of our freedoms in terms of covering the President of the United States. This issue of turning off the cameras in the briefing rooms. Wolf, I could hold up my phone tomorrow and live stream that press briefing with Sean Spicer or Sarah Sanders, whoever comes in there. And that is just where technology is right now. So to think that we're going backwards and not having things on camera, to me, is just preposterous.
I'm so sorry, Jim. You're still whining about the cameras in the White House press briefing room. Well, maybe it's you. Maybe you just need a hug. Go see Joe and Mika. Now, sadly, Acosta's constant whining and complaining and crying, it pales in comparison to one CNN morning host who actually believed the president is putting journalists in physical danger. Watch this.
At what point does this become dangerous? And I'm not just talking about dangerous in terms of tearing at the social fabric. I'm talking about dangerous as in a journalist gets hurt. Because I can tell you, working overseas in war zones, you know, people are emboldened by the actions of this administration, emboldened by the all-out sort of declaration of war on the media.
All right, it's not true. Pretty unbelievable. Then there's CNN political analyst, Daily Beast editor-in-chief John Avlon, who thinks that Trump is doing something sinister, evil. Watch this.
When you call critics fake news, let's just think about that for a second. When fake news is a real problem proliferating on the internet via social media, that we know, right. So that all of a sudden what you're doing is a consciously Orwellian switch to try to muddy the meaning of language, muddy the definition of truth versus lies, fact versus fiction. When that's emanating from the Oval Office, that's something that's real sinister, and we got to keep an eye on as a country, as citizens.
CNN is fake news. And by the way, here's what's happening. This is all in the direction of Jeff Zucker. They're now playing the victim. But in reality, the fake news network CNN has been aggressively pushing the Russia, tinfoil hat, conspiracy theories, and others. You know, there's other blatantly fake news stories, and they've been doing it for months in a desperate attempt. For whatever reason, Zucker has a destroy Trump mentality, an agenda. So will CNN's president, Jeff Zucker. Is he going to come out of hiding? Will he ever respond to this? Seems unlikely. Look at what happened when James O'Keefe of Project Veritas actually tracked down Zucker and asked him about CNN's abusive and biased coverage. By the way, Fox cannot independently verify the footage, but you can see it yourself. Take a look.
James O'Keefe, how are you? Give a comment, sir, about the Russia story. Okay.
Jeff, I'll invite you on the program. You can come on my show. I'll give you a full half hour. We'll talk about your network and the things said on your network. Now, by the way, they're the lowest rated network. They have a crisis in credibility, CNN, and their elitist president. By the way, are they ever going to put aside their petty differences with the president? It now seems personal on their part, and maybe start covering him fairly. We report. We'll let you decide. Fair and balanced.